Start recording. WhatsApp now. Stop recording button. Stop
Hello,
recording
folks.
button.
This video is called Update. To the channel. I just want to tell you guys, this is kind of, the channel Mind Mob.
WhatsApp now. Sophie Thong at WhatsApp now. Lee Merrick at Henschel's Memories.
We're currently working on it.
Message.
We're going to try and do a live stream on Sunday to give you more kind of what's going on with the channel. So we're still doing all the imaginary stuff on here. Now, unfortunately, due to changes which you've all been reading about, if you haven't been reading about them, I suggest you go read about them.
WhatsApp now. Natalie Jones at Henschel's Memories. Microphone. Voice message.
Yeah, they're important. You should go read them. Because it's about whether your channel
now. Lee Merrick at Henschel's Memories. Microphone. Voice
is
message.
made for kids or not. Now,
WhatsApp now. Matt Carter at
I have
Natalie Jones at Henschel's
my
microphone. Voice message.
My videos that have had me showing off the old toy phones and stuff. I did it from an autistic person's point of view. But I was listening to a guy talking about the AFBC rules and stuff and guidelines, and the internet seems to be, it's kind of like it's kind of like going into the street, really. I mean, you letting your kids go on the internet is the same equivalent to letting your kids play in the street. And I always thought YouTube as
WhatsApp now. Lee Merrick at WhatsApp now. Mark J at Henschel's Memories. Microphone. Voice message.
a kind of walking on the pavement,
Microphone. Voice message.
Because as long as you don't step into the road, you get run over. Now, I understand that YouTube has a weird side, doesn't every website? But, YouTube is like a huge search engine. It's owned by Google. And all that good stuff. And
WhatsApp now. Lee Merrick at Henschel's Memories. Microphone.
The internet is a great tool. Of course, it can be other things. The internet is not a toy, as we understand. But I'm sure we could use a small portion of the internet to keep our kids safe. I mean, this covers the whole of the internet. I listened to a lawyer on YouTube discuss this topic.
Matt Carter at Henschel's Memories. Microphone. Voice message.
And I've unscripted this video, by the way. But I know exactly. I normally go off on tangents, but with this, I'm not. So I'm sure a small portion of the internet could be good for kids. I mean, why can't they do what they did in the 90s? Because in the olden days, when I was a teenager, well, I was a kid, but I was a teenager when everybody had the internet. So it was the late millennium, 2001, 2002, and there was a lot of educational tools that allowed you to use the internet, but a very, very small portion. And if you ejected that CD-ROM, you were soon booted offline. We don't have CD-ROMs, but we have USB dongles. So when it comes to computers, yeah, I think I'll do that talk at another time. But I think this comes back to YouTube. Now, YouTube is a good portion of the internet. I understand kids watch YouTube. People who have Asperger's syndrome and struggle reading also watch YouTube. I've watched a lot of educational videos here on YouTube. Some non-educational videos, but that's non-applicable. But what I do here on the channel is my pretend business. Now, it's to autistic adults as well as children. And I always think that, you know, if I review something, if I do a toy review, I'm not going to swear on it. And I know that swearing on YouTube is a big thing. In fact, I want to just come to one little thing here. This whole made for kids and not made for kids thing. I don't know where it lies in the UK. But I'll tell you something. I'm surprised that Ofcom haven't got involved with YouTube. Anyway, that's another discussion. But as a broadcaster, as a professional broadcaster, I don't swear on the radio. The videos that I have sworn in, which were quite a fair few on this channel. I know there are videos that I swore in, mainly the gaming stuff. But my rules have always been on YouTube, if you're gonna swear, right? If you're gonna swear, and this goes to any YouTuber, I want to put this out there now, right? Don't just swear because you can. I'm not being a parent, by the way. I'm an uncle, but I'm not. I don't want to be like, you know what I'm talking. You know, I'm not saying, oh, don't swear because your grandmother might fly out of her chair and poop herself. I'm not saying that because, you know, but I'm saying this is going out to every YouTuber. This rule's going out to every YouTuber. It's not just going out to the big YouTubers. It's going out to people that aren't even, they haven't even got monetization. And I'm going to talk about this on my podcast as well. Now, there's a thing, right? If this rule is pointed at YouTube, it should also be pointed at the podcasting platform. Now, if you want to hear more on this, I'm going to be doing a talk on Anchor in just a moment, where I do talk about this a bit more in depth. Because radio, unfortunately, there is radio shows that are not meant for kids. Unfortunately, the problem that you have with radio is there is no such thing as a watershed. You may have shows that have adult content and stuff, but as a podcaster, and I know you can choose if your podcast's X-rated and what have you, but if someone wants to go and listen, say if a kid, say if a 10-year-old wants to go and listen to that podcast, there isn't anything stopping them. Now, YouTube is pulling up a lot of boundaries. Now, there's a good side to this and there's a bad side as well, so I want to kind of bring that in to the whole thing to end this vid. The first thing that I want to say, though, is as a creator, this is a bad thing because people can't comment. It's stopping advertising. But here's something that I want to make to YouTube. Right? I like the idea. Right? Because I see where it's going. But here's the thing, right? If a kid's deciding to use the normal YouTube, I'll say it like that, because YouTube Kids, which I'm going to talk about on my podcast and make another video about, is different. But let's just say on YouTube. Now, back in the day when I didn't have an account, and say I wanted to watch, let's just say, say if I wanted to watch no, I won't use James Ralph as an example, because there was only one of his videos. It was it was a Metal Gear Solid one.
Microphone, voice message.
Let's just take a video that you want to watch on YouTube. Let's just say it's a violent video. Right, it's got lots of violence in it. As soon as you click on the video, if you have not got an account, it'll ask you for an age verification.
WhatsApp, now. Mark J. at Henshaw's Memories. Microphone, voice message.
When you're subscribed to YouTube, it just asks, just give you a warning, and then you click OK, and it allows you to watch the video.
WhatsApp, now. Natalie Jones
now,
Memories.
What YouTube should be doing, right, is giving you, every time there's a X-rated video or a video with swearing in, or a video with content not suited for kids, okay, then there should be a form that pops up. Not one where you have to type a password or anything like that, but one where you have to at least put your age in every time. Because then that doesn't stop anybody from making videos. Unfortunately, I think the worry that everybody's got is, oh, well, this is going to create cookies and stuff. Well, it depends. If you're from a smartphone and you're using the app, it'll be less cookies. If you're on a desktop, I don't know how they're going to do it. But it would probably be, as soon as that form comes up, in my younger days, if I saw a form, oh man, I think, oh, I can't watch that video. But you know how it is. It's just stopping. I mean, it's not only is it meaning that adults can choose what they want to watch, but also, or listen to, and let's just say you want to listen to, I don't know, the classic parodies. There's a lot of parodies on there that are not aimed at kids, but they could seem as kiddie content. Cartoons. Oh, we've touched a big thing, right? Cartoons. Now, there is a lot of cartoons that are not aimed at kids. There's a lot. Stuff like Burnt Face Man, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Oh. I'm trying to think of a cartoon that's not anime. Anime is a different ball game altogether. But I'm talking about cartoons because that's what YouTube said. I mean, actually, no. Anime. Let's stick some anime in there. Now, I'm going to tell you now, there's a lot of animation. Because if animation as a whole, and sort of cartoons, anime, if, like, I don't know, YouTube might flag anime as being kiddie content. I'm going to tell you now that there are, anime real pushes the boundaries into places that cartoons don't. And there's a lot of Dragon Ball Z episodes that were censored on Cartoon Network due to the amount of graphical violence and stuff like that. And they're available on YouTube. And I don't see Dragon Ball Z as a kids show at all. There's a lot of people I've spoke to within that community, and there is the real strange horror animations, which we've all seen. But yeah, toys is another one. I've always put why I'm using the toy. If it's a VTech phone, toy phone, and you say why you're using it, yeah, that could be a made for kids video. If a kid wants to buy a VTech toy phone, they're gonna know why.
We are the best around. We offer the best streams with
they're not swearing in videos. Well, to be frankly fair, on YouTube, the swearing thing should be, gaming videos, for example. It depends what the game is. It depends what the video game is. If it's a shoot 'em up, then swearing should be allowed, as long as you. I mean, we have where I work. We have a rule. The one rule is that if we're playing a song with swearing in, we've got to play it for a reason. We got to, there's got to be a reason why we want to play that song, not just because we like it. And there was one song that one of our guys played, and there was a full reason, and he was allowed to play it. The same thing should apply with YouTube. If you're making a gaming video, and you're swearing in it, it should at least say in your description why you are swearing in that video. I mean, I've watched a few good YouTubers who know when to swear. Strange. I mean, this is strange. I'm trying to think. And the reason they swear is because, for example, if they're unboxing something and something shocks them out the blue, yeah, they're gonna swear because it's like, what's that? You know, it's like, or I'm trying to think of another time when you would swear on YouTube. If you're completely mad at something, you know, like if you're mad at the government, but obviously don't put every single word as a swear word, or you know. I mean, James Ralph, the Angry Video Game Nerd, I love his videos, but the amount of swearing in them means that you have to watch them with earphones on. It upsets me, but I love them. Not because, you know, the swearing and stuff. And he's toned it down in his later videos, of course. But I was watching a creepypasta video one time in front of my dad. There was about 4 or 5 F words, so I couldn't watch it. I had to turn it off. And I just thought, yeah, you know, what's the point? You know, it just ruins the video right there. You can't watch it if it's got about 4 or 5 F words from the get-go. So anyway, that's me grumping away. But I did say that I would, you know, come here and explain my channel. And my channel's just complete random, as well as the Pretend and Play Office, which is all educational stuff. Oh yeah, I can't believe. Now I didn't swear, but on the VTech Slide and Talk smartphone, you can tell it's made for adults because I call the girl on it, the one who likes to eat a lot of carrots, I call her a greedy cow. And you, I can't believe, and it's the most searched video on the channel. But I don't swear in a toy review video just in case, I don't know, a kid wants to watch it and their parents are in the room. You know, I think that it's like, it's a daytime thing. Now, I want to come to my pretend radio shows, which I use making Spreaker. Thank you, Spreaker, for allowing us to make our own radio shows. It's a brilliant app, and I'm going to talk about it more in another video. But I've set the app up so my shows go straight to YouTube. I haven't left YouTube, but I'm kind of doing more stuff with Spreaker to get those shows straight to YouTube. There is going to be a few more DJ Megatron videos coming away and stuff like that. Show and tell of the box and stuff. And you know, that's not a kid's video. That's a DJ box. But there's no swearing in the video, so kids can watch it. And this is what YouTube should do. Right? Only the videos of higher swearing or things that you don't want your kid to listen or watch or whatever. Those are the videos that, you know, they should have 3 rankings. Instead of being
Lee Merrick at Henshaw's Memories.
Right, this is a
Microphone.
made-for-kids
Voice
video,
message.
so we won't stick any ads on it or stick any blah blah blah. The comments and that, comments, yeah, turn those off for a kids video, because if you're a kid, your parents aren't going to want you doing the comments. And it'd be great if, like, they had, say, you know,
WhatsApp. Now. Mark J at Henshaw's Memories. Microphone.
if I was
Voice
doing,
message.
say, I mean, I think my mum would like me to do more, probably, stuff on YouTube if she goes, oh, there's no comments and stuff. She'd probably want me to set my channel for Made for Kids. But you see, the problem is, I'm not going to do that for every video, because I swear in some of the older videos.
Microphone. Voice message.
So, just to put my back up for the FTPC, you know, and there are some comments on my channel which I've just left there. I've not done anything with them. But you know, the radio shows come on here. The weekly vlogs which we're doing, you know, I mean, I guess there should be a setting for the comments. If you wanted to turn the comments off yourself, there could be a way for that. I don't know. I mean, I don't get paid for doing YouTube, but I know people who do, and they're probably gonna scoot around the whole not for kids content. You know? And I've told a friend, actually, who he's helping me make a video. I'll give him a big shout out, actually. Big shout out to Big Phil Animations. I've told him to just be like a radio broadcaster, you know, and he's asked me what swear words are what. We've talked about swearing. You know, words like bloody, in my eyes, I've had to talk about my parents with this one, and bloody means a lot of blood. It's not a nice word, you know. You don't want your kids to say the word bloody all the time, but it's not the worst. I mean, it's, if you hear the soaps, you know, if you watch, say, even, I know people don't like Coronation Street, but if you're a YouTuber, watch the soaps, follow the soaps, listen to what they say in the soaps. You know, they'll say, oh, flaming hell. You know, see, hell is not, I class as a swear word. You know, the SH word, though, I just want to talk about that word real quick. I want to talk about every swear word in the book. But the SH word is borderline. In fact, I've spoke about this with people. It's a borderline word, and some radio stations and TV stations will allow it, some won't. It just depends. The B word, which is for a female dog, I'm not going to say it. And this is just the last one I want to discuss. Again, it's borderline, because it depends how people take offence to that word. But bloody, I'm sorry, it's one of the weakest words in the book. It really, really is. You know, bloody, look it up. Look, you know, get your English dictionary. Look these words up, you know. Bloody just means a lot of blood. Hell, it's not a nice word, but it's just a place where you go when you die if you've been bad. It's not really a good word, but yeah, just
WhatsApp.
look
No.
at the Ofcom
Lee
rules
American
as well.
Handles
I know
Memories.
that's a
Microphone.
boring thing, and
Voice message.
it's not, it's a bit of a boring bedtime read, but look at the Ofcom rules. Look at the FTPC stuff. Use your, if you talk to people in radio and television, they'll tell you what, you know, what content would be suitable to watch. And then you don't have to say, oh, well, this is made for kids and this is not made for kids. But I think what YouTube should have is a kid setting and an adult setting. And the kid setting, you can't comment. You can't do, even if you were to make a video with the setting turned on. Now, I know you can turn off and on settings, but it should enable a password. I know there's YouTubers that have spoke about the whole made for kids and not made for kids thing, but oh, why are we talking about it? Well, as a broadcaster and put my broadcasting head on, daytime radio, I have told people off for saying a few mild swear words because I don't allow swear words on my radio show at all. I don't even say the word bloody, even if it's the mildest word. But it's just, but I think the odd bloody isn't going to hurt anybody. It really isn't. I'm sure kids have heard the word bloody. I used to get told off as a kid for saying it, but it's like a stepping stone into swearing. But you know, but you don't want to be, and I'm going to be honest, you don't want to be the sheltered parent either. It's the worst thing you can do because telling somebody not to do something, they're going to do it anyways. I mean, I knew most of all the main swear words in the book before I was a teenager. Didn't know what they all meant till I was a teenager, but it's one of the things. And to be frankly honest, I think the strong one for me is the R word, which I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say it. Because
WhatsApp. No. WhatsApp. No. Lee Merrick Henshaw's memories. Microphone. Voice message.
it just, I mean, obviously, it's not something that I've been called.
WhatsApp.
Thank
No.
the Lord.
Sophie Thong at Henshaw's memories. Voice message.
But I know people have been called it, and I've read a lot of articles where people have been called it. So, to me,
WhatsApp. No. Lee Merrick
to
Henshaw's
my
memories.
community,
Microphone.
that's,
Voice message.
But I don't want to
WhatsApp.
sound like some
No.
political
Lee Merrick Henshaw's memories.
person
Microphone. Voice
saying,
message.
"Oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that." But I'd rather say, well. However, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing with
No.
toys on my channel, and
into your favorite one headphones.
it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop playing, pretend and play Office videos, and I put a lot of it in my vlogs and stuff. So, Anyways.
Stop recording button.